Welcome back to New Mexico Entertainment Television, where you continue to be in the know with all things events and entertainment in New Mexico. I'm Teresa Robinson, and on this month's episode, we will be covering topics from our July issue. On this month's show, we have Robb Cisneros with Musical Theater Southwest to discuss their upcoming production, Next to Normal. Roman Barham will be discussing Burque Rock City. Phantom Nips and Rocco Steele of New Mexico Drag Kings will be discussing their upcoming events. And Benn Wiebe will discuss the upcoming ABQ Indie Film Festival. So, let's get started. Musical Theater Southwest has been bringing quite a few shows to life this season, including their New Mexico Entertainment Award-winning production of Cabaret and Broadway thriller Sweeney Todd. Their next production, Next to Normal, will bring challenging topics to the stage. Tonight we have Robb Cisneros, the show's director, to talk more about it. Robb, thanks for joining us today to talk more about MTS's new show, Next to Normal. So I want to start by asking you, there's a lot of choices for musicals and plays that you can do with the theater. Why this one? What was it that caught your guys' eye to do this one?
Well, I can't speak for the board of directors. MTS itself chose the season. I do know that they were looking at shows for this current season that were a little bit more on the darker side. Mm-hmm. Opening up with Cabaret, moving into Sweeney Todd, and then coming into Next to Normal was a nice flow for that type of a theme. For me, the draw, I saw the original Broadway production in 2009, mm-hmm. And in New York. It touched me very much to see not just the storyline, but the development of the characters. I was also very lucky to see the translated version about 5 years ago in Mexico City, and sort of caught my attention again, and that desire to, if someone does that show, I'm putting in to direct it. So when it popped up on the season for Musical Theater Southwest, it gave me the opportunity to jump in and say, no, I have some ideas on how I want this presented and how I want it staged. And I'm really glad that they gave me the opportunity.
Now, for those who are not lucky enough to see the actual Broadway production when it was out, can you tell us a little bit about what the show is about?
The show deals with the family unit of the Goodmans. Diana is the mother. She has been diagnosed bipolar, along with sort of a laundry list of other mental illness characterizations. Mm-hmm. And so she's also been treated in various ways through about approximately 20 years of her life. When the show opens, we learn this very quickly and learn this very onset of the production. But what draws me in to the story is the fact that it's not about her and her mental illness. It is about how the mental illness affects the entire family unit. And I think we sometimes forget that it's not just the individual that's sick with any disease, be it mental illness or any other. Mm-hmm. It's how that affects the entire family unit. So we see the different dynamics throughout the show, and it unfolds. We also see what has triggered her, not just 20 years ago, but what has been a continuous trigger or triggers within the family, and the different treatments that she has endured, mm-hmm. Mostly medications, and how they're going to proceed now that another episode has sort of taken over the family.
Oh, wow. And the auditions are happening on the 21st and 22nd.
Right. So auditions are this coming Friday night and Saturday. And I'm excited to see who comes out because I get to sit down and try to create this family unit. There's only 7 characters in the show. Mm-hmm. So it's a very intimate show. Unlike some of the other shows that I've directed, which have a large ensemble or, dancing unit. There's a little bit of dance, but there's no choreographer for this show.
Yeah.
And being able to see these auditions this next weekend and see what our actors here in the community can bring to these characters and sort of bring my vision to life.
So when it comes to, I mean, you're used to working with larger ensembles. Are you approaching this in a different way, being that you're only dealing with 7 actors on the stage?
It definitely helps the approach from a scheduling perspective. I don't need to schedule as much rehearsal time for choreography or for larger ensemble scenes, which take a little longer to direct because you want to be able to help each of the ensemble develop some type of character. And sometimes in a larger cast ensemble, they are playing multiple characters in multiple scenes. In this particular case, we're really going to be zeroing in on the characters because they're only playing one character through the whole show.
So yeah, that's gonna feel like that's gonna be a bit easier. So when it comes to this production, what do you want the audience walking away with when they leave that theater?
What I walked away with the first time I saw it, I walked away in awe of the onion that is the show and all of its layers and how all of it fit on stage in one story through its secrets and everything else that came to life. One of the songs is "I'm Alive," and while it has different meanings in it, that's what I would really like for people to walk away with, because it's living through a disease. Yeah. It's how you survive it. It's how you deal with it, and how we deal with life in general.
Well, where can people learn more about the show?
As far as buying tickets or also auditioning for the show, because I do want more people to sign up and come and audition for. My music director, Colin Burge, there's a lot of music in this show. So he's very anxious to sit down with me, and we've teamed up a couple of times. So we're looking forward to Friday night to be able to cast this show. You can contact MTS. The telephone number is 505-265-9119. You can get more information off the website, which is MTS ABQ. And you can go on the website. You can find the link, sign up for auditions. I think there's still some slots for Friday night, definitely slots for Saturday morning available before we go into callbacks Saturday afternoon.
Well, Rob, thank you for coming out tonight to talk with us, and congratulations on the new show. Definitely looking forward to it.
Let's get your tickets.
Definitely.
We open September 29th.
All right. We'll be back. Burque Rock City is bringing you some of the hottest acts this state has to offer. This 2-day blowout features music acts like Early Moods, Prism Bitch, and Red Mesa. Producer Roman Barham is with us today to talk more about the event. Well, thank you for talking with me this morning about Burque Rock City.
Definitely.
It's not like you don't have enough to do. So tell me about this event. Tell me a little bit more about it.
Cool. So I normally do Monolith on the Mesa up in Taos, but this year the dates didn't work out with the venue and stuff. So I had some bands booked already for Monolith, and I always wanted to do a fest in Albuquerque, you know, whether it was downtown or like the Balloon Fiesta. And and I work here at the El Rey and the Launchpad and Inside Out and stuff. So I just thought I would love to do it on the home turf here in Albuquerque and bring a festival down here to Albuquerque in the summer. Something to look forward to in the summer. You know, it's nice having events to look forward to. I remember back in the day there was like Edge Fest and Summer Fest and spring crawls and stuff like that. So I wanted to bring some excitement downtown and have a rock and roll fest.
Well, if there's one thing I learned after doing this award ceremony, like the music community here in New Mexico is just outstanding. So
Yeah.
anything that brings more music festivals to our state, I'm down for. Absolutely. So tell us about some of the bands that are taking part this year.
Well, so this year we have an awesome lineup. We have Pike versus the Automaton, which features Grammy Award winner Matt Pike from High on Fire and Sleep. And we have Weed Eater, Electric Citizen, Yawning Bulge, which includes Yawning Man from Palm Springs, which is an amazing instrumental desert rock band, and Ball Bulge from Fu Manchu. And we have Early Moods, Biezobong from Poland. They're an awesome instrumental rock and roll band. And we have a lot of local bands like Prison Bitch, Tenderizer, my band Red Mesa is playing, Nom Stomper, THC Worm. So it's a wide variety of rock and roll and metal and bands from all over the world and local bands.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, yeah, bringing it to Albuquerque and to the El Rey. What was it about the El Rey that fit this vibe for this particular concert?
Well, I actually had to move the show now to Launchpad and Inside Out. So,
Wow.
so it's a Launchpad. So you're gonna get to see these bands up close and personal. So it's gonna be a really intimate vibe in there, and it's gonna be awesome.
Nice.
And we're also working with Marble on a festival beer called Burque Rock City Brew, which we're actually doing a pre-release on Sunday at Marble on this Sunday with Rock John Gill and Blue Heron. But we're gonna have the beer on tap, and everyone's gonna be able to taste it.
That's awesome. All right. Well, I'm excited to see more bands coming out and performing. Where can people learn more about this event?
So I have all the social medias, Instagram, Facebook. You can buy tickets on holdmyticket.com. There's links on a lot of my posts and then on my Instagram. Also, I have tickets on me. I work here at the El Rey Liquors and the Launchpad all week. So if anyone needs to buy an actual physical ticket, I have some on me. And yeah, it's already in 2 weeks, so get your tickets while you can. I just want to let everyone know, Burque Rock City, it's all ages. It's for the family too. There will be food trucks, vendors. There'll be merch in the El Rey Theater. I'm gonna have it, have all the merch in there. It's gonna be real spread out. There's in and out privileges, so you're not stuck in a venue all day. So you go in and out and explore downtown Albuquerque. The music is phenomenal. This lineup is amazing. There's gonna be awesome people from all over the United States. I got friends flying in from everywhere, so it's gonna be awesome.
And this is a 2-day event, is it not?
Yes, it's a 2-day event, August 4th and 5th, noon to midnight too.
Ooh,
it's all day.
All day. Very packed weekend. So yes, everyone, get your tickets. Don't miss out. And Roman, thanks again for letting us know about it. And I'm looking forward to other things you have coming up.
Thank you, Teresa. I appreciate you. Thanks again for always supporting the scene and being a part of it too. We love you. And thanks again for having me.
Step into the mesmerizing world of the New Mexico Drag Kings, where charm, talent, and fierce performances collide. Entertaining audiences all over the state, the Kings are showing New Mexico the art of drag in every performance. We are glad to have Phantom Nips and Rocco Steele with us today to talk about the group and their upcoming performances.
Thank you for joining us tonight to talk about the Kings. I want to start by asking, how did it all begin? How did it originate?
So we have been a group of some sort since 2002. And we actually started with some monthly shows at the Pulse nightclub.
Oh God, Pulse, I miss
It
Pulse.
was a little bit ago, and we have existed since then in some form or another. And most recently, within the last couple of years, we've just decided to kind of do a little bit of rebranding and look at like us as like a New Mexico wide group instead of just an Albuquerque thing. And it's been probably one of the best things that we've ever done.
So, I mean, is there a place you call home when it comes to, I mean, I know you perform everywhere, but is it just that, you know, you roam where you need to be, or is there one particular place that you call home?
I think we roam.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're, wherever we are welcome, we will be.
So when it comes to, I mean, there's so many different personalities in the group. How do you guys just mesh that you get along so well and can work so well?
Drag is art. Art is subjective. There are so many different types of drag kings, drag queens, drag entertainers. That's pretty much what it is all encompassing. I mean, there's gender fluid, non-binary. You have cisgendered males performing as drag kings. It's all accepted and it's all welcome.
So how are you guys dealing with, sadly, the political side of what's going on right now when it comes to performing? Have you seen any changes on what you have to deal with when it comes to going on stage? Did you have to change up anything, or are you kind of like pushing it even more to say, I mean,
I
drag
think-
is not a crime?
Yeah, drag's not a crime, right? Actually, I got this shirt because we went out to Texas for a drag, kind of drag conference, and that was one of the states where it's starting getting pushed about like drag being illegal, and a lot of the performers we met out there were from states where they are not allowed to perform anymore. And so we are very grateful that New Mexico is not that. We're very, progressive when it comes to drag, especially here, but lots of things. And, we're very thankful for that, definitely.
Well, putting that aside, is there any challenges that the group ever faces when coming up with numbers, when, anything when it comes to performing?
I'm one of the newest members, and I wouldn't say there's a problem. I'm constantly thinking of things. I'm always listening and watching other people's shows and supporting other drag performers, other burlesque performers,
Awesome.
and the arts. So and we all help each other too.
That's
It is
wonderful.
community.
So what do you have coming up soon? What's coming up next?
So the next thing that we have coming up is on June 29th. It's called Out of This World. So it's an alien-inspired King show. It's going to be at the Jean Cocteau Theater in Santa Fe, and the tickets are $10. And then after that's going to be on August 25th, the Dog Days of Summer, again at the Jean Cocteau in Santa Fe. And those tickets can be found at eventgroove.com, and all you have to search is New Mexico Drag Kings. And then we are doing a Virgo-inspired Rocco's birthday show, which will be on September 1st at S4200 here in Albuquerque. And so this is going to be our first production there. So we're really excited. I'm excited because it's my birthday and I get to have a drag show. But also we're bringing in a guest performer that we met out in Austin. His name's Sid Prescott, and he's amazing. So it's going to be like kings everywhere.
Wonderful. Well, where can people learn more about your group, what's coming up, and how they can get involved if they want to?
We are all over social media, so Facebook, Instagram. I think we're working on some of the other platforms right now. I know my co-founder, Rusty Nuts, has his own website, so you can do like a rustynuts.com, nuts with a Z. And he has all of the upcoming performances listed on his website always, and looking for us on social media too.
Wonderful. Well, Rocco, Lee, thank you for coming out tonight and telling us about the group and what's to come, and we'll keep an eye out.
Awesome.
We'll be back.
With a mission to showcase the best in indie cinema, the ABQ Indie Film Festival is excited to be back for another year. The free one-day event consists of various genres, including fiction, documentary, and animated films. We're happy to have Vice President and Executive Producer Benn Wiebe to tell us more about it. Well, Ben, thank you so much for joining me today to talk more about the ABQ Indie Film Festival. So I actually wanted to start with, how long the festival's been in existence. I mean, I see that you've survived COVID, you've gotten past that, you stayed strong. So if you can tell our viewers more about the festival and how it started.
Yeah, so it's been around for 5 years now. It's a part of HF Productions, which is our parent company. So we run several film festivals like this, and the whole goal is to especially champion short films, but also features, and to really give people an opportunity who don't usually have it, right, to really spotlight, unheard voices and underserved voices out there. So our films are from every corner of the world. We don't showcase stuff that's just local. We show films in any language, but they will always have English subtitles. So for this session, we'll have one feature film that starts the night, and then a second block with 8 short films.
So Albuquerque being that there's a lot of festivals that have come through, what is it about yours that is uniquely different that you felt was missing in the city?
So we really try and break down what this idea is of how to get people to open up to stories they wouldn't otherwise expose themselves to. And one of those biggest things is festivals, especially, are usually categorized by language or territory, right? Like grouping films as international, and we don't do that. We try and group stories that are from every corner of the world or from different nations and denominations and anything, right? Paired back to back. Because one of the biggest and best pieces of feedback I hear is when someone says, "Oh, I saw a local film, right? It was from the Southwest U.S." Or the story on camera was about the Southwest U.S. next to one, from Egypt, where the language is in, Egyptian or even Arabic, and then next to one from the Philippines in Tagalog, right? And you're seeing these back to back with no break as a way to really get audiences to open up. And then the feedback is, "Oh my gosh, I've never seen a film, like that before, from this place before," and that ended up being my favorite. And so that's really our mission. And Albuquerque is such a great place that has such a rich history for films and films being made there. That yeah, I just love having this event being hosted there.
I love the whole idea that the event is free, which probably
Yes.
takes a load off of a lot of people that would like to take part in events like this, but may not have the funds. And you've chosen Fusion as the location for the film festival. What was it about Fusion that spoke to you and having the festival take part there?
When you talk about the difference between like an arts and cultural type center or a single screen type place versus like a multiplex, there's rarely a vibe that, say, a multiplex has that really puts you in a spirit of story and creates intimacy. And so what we try and do is really build and nurture community through these. And I don't think a multiplex is able to accomplish that. I love these intimate spaces where people really, there's more of a spirit of celebrating art and cinema and creativity in all different forms, not just film, right? So I think it puts people in that right that right kind of space and energy to also want to talk about these things after they've watched them. And that's what we really want, right? Not for people to go in and it's just something to do. Right. We want to stimulate, people to want to talk about it and share ideas on what they thought afterwards. Yeah.
I love that. I love that idea. So I want to take a step back to the films that are being shown. What was it about these selections that spoke to the community for this year to be shown?
Yeah. I mean, the night will open up with a feature. which is great because on our programs we usually prioritize short films. So we have events where it's all shorts and no features. So it's great to be able to open one up, and it's an Irish comedy. So from my perspective, I think it's always good to start the night with something light and provide some levity, because we do tend to prioritize, films that have a social impact narrative to them, right? Or hit kind of heavier subjects, if you will, right? That might even be controversial, or really stimulate some dialogue. And so I think so this session will also have films from France and Brazil and Belgium and Australia and the UK, and then a few from the US. So you're also getting a good good cultural flavor of stories from all over the place.
Nice.
But that's the goal, right? To give people a real array, because our team's style is definitely to make sure that we spotlight some stories at every event that are really, what you call important stories, right? More than your kind of lighthearted entertainment. Yeah.
So, where can people learn more about the event and the films that they're going to be able to watch?
Yeah, so the event's called the ABQ Indie Film Festival. So they can find on Facebook and Instagram, and then it's abqindiefest.com. So we lay out information about all the films, and especially on social media, we try and share bits and pieces about each one, so people get an idea. And then of course on the night, because it's free to attend, we welcome everyone. That's one of the best parts about what we do in running these, is giving everyone that opportunity to come out and not making it a burden to celebrate culture and story together. And so we welcome everyone to come on out.
Well, Ben, thank you again for talking with me this morning, and thank you for creating an event that is inspiring more community outreach and togetherness. This is definitely one that does that.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we're looking forward to it.
This is your New Mexico Entertainment in 60. His Mark is Bruce Nauman's first solo exhibition in New Mexico, featuring video installations and never-seen-before self-portrait work. His Mark runs until September 11th at Site Santa Fe in Santa Fe. We are excited to present our first ever New Mexico Entertainment Awards. The night celebrates the outstanding talent New Mexico has to offer in the fields of entertainment and events. The New Mexico Entertainment Awards takes place on July 7th at the historic Chemo Theater in Albuquerque. The Belen Music Walk features live acoustic musicians along the Belen Art District, including Kyle Martin, Eileen Sanchez, and Daniel Solis. The Belen Music Walk takes place on July 29th on Becker Avenue in Belen. This has been your New Mexico Entertainment in 60. For more events and entertainment, visit nmentertains.com. Thank you for joining us for this month's episode of New Mexico Entertainment Television, where you continue to be in the know. Join us next month as we cover topics from our August issue, which is our art issue. Have a great night. For more events and entertainment, visit nmentertains.com.